Hi everyone, welcome to the second episode of our podcast Tech and Tots. I'm Urvashi.
And I'm Sanika. Our topic today is screen time. We will be focusing on screen time for kids under 5. We'll go into some of the pros and cons and our perspective on this topic.
Talking about pros, one of the biggest arguments for screen time is learning. You constantly hear stories about kids learning through Miss Rachel or other such videos and being ahead, air quotes, than other kids.
Yeah.
And yes, the breadth of content available on screens is unmatched. However, I think kids' development is not just about knowledge based learning, right? They learn more through interaction with others, by being present, by observing their surroundings.
Totally. The research says that it's actually very unclear if young kids learn anything at all through watching videos, especially these videos that claim that they build language skills. These cannot be built through consuming content, but it's the back and forth of conversation that's really needed. I think educational videos are mostly just about making us parents feel better. Apart from videos, we have also tried a few educational apps like Duolingo for reading, but we've had very limited success. My kid just played around with it like a game, and there wasn't really any retention or learning.
Interesting. And it's not just that they don't learn, but in fact, there is an addictive effect of devices.
Yeah.
We see that in adults around us as well. But we see the attention span reducing. One of the early experiences with my 2-year-old was that we started showing her some photos and videos of herself on our mobile phone. And that led to her insisting every day to show her the phone. And we just quickly learned how addictive these devices are.
Yeah, that's the dopamine hit they get, right, while watching a video. No, I have seen my otherwise very reasonable 5-year-old become like completely zombified when he watches videos. But the other way that I think about screens at this age is in terms of opportunity cost. So I read a lot of Emily Oster. She writes this super popular blog about data-driven parenting. And she mentions how we should think about screen time not just in terms of time spent or even the content that the kids are consuming, but about what else would they be doing during that time.
Well, if I go back to my childhood, we would have been out and about playing with neighborhood kids.
Yeah. Yeah, that reminds me of Jonathan Haidt in his book The Anxious Generation. So he writes that kids these days are growing up more anxious because of a double whammy. That on the one hand, parents are reluctant to let their kids out to play in the neighborhood the way we did because they are worried about safety. So kids are getting less playtime, less autonomy. But then how do you keep kids engaged at home? No, you give them these addictive screens.
That's a great insight. And what do you do when kids are at home? So is the answer books? Do you replace screens with books?
Maybe. Although I feel at some point in the past, people have made very similar arguments about books as well. That one gets lost in the world of books, you're not present, you're not interactive.
That's true. Though, in my mind, there is a distinction, which is that books are active consumption and videos are passive consumption. So books really help build your core abilities, like being attentive, being diligent, building imagination. And that's really my focus with my 2-year-old right now. I'm not in a hurry for her to learn her ABCs and rhymes.
Totally agree, yeah. Going back to screen time, I do think that we should think of screens as a tool at your disposal. So there is this one extreme where parents almost use it like a badge of honor. Now they are like, my kid never watches a screen. And then there are others who are so relaxed about it, they have no rules whatsoever. So we try to be more balanced and use it based on the context and the situation. For example, on airplane rides, we let our kids watch as many movies as they want because what else would they be doing? Just running around and disrupting everyone.
Well, I wouldn't want to be a passenger on that plane. I agree with you. You have to be kind to yourself. Sometimes you cannot fully control exposure. Like the kid might have an older sibling who uses screens. So I've seen some parents use screen as an incentive to get their kids to eat food. Or, some parents allow Daniel Tiger videos to teach kids kindness and emotion. And that's the trade-off they are making.
Yeah.
You might not have child support available easily. For example, that happened a lot during pandemic.
Yeah.
This was the only way to keep kids engaged.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, during the pandemic, we used screens a lot for video calling with grandparents back in India. In addition, I also think there are some interesting creative and more active uses of screens, especially as the kids get older. For example, my 5-year-old has started learning chess on the iPad. He's also started taking and editing photos, and that's really cool. Like, he loves doing that and sharing them with family. I've also gotten into digital art on my iPad, and he loves to watch me and he tries his hand at it as well.
Nice, that's super creative. With my 2-year-old, we engage her by showing her AI generated stories of her in different contexts, like, in a forest or as a pilot.
Ooh.
And she really loves that. The point is that every household is different and every household makes their own trade offs. I want to hear what's your perspective. What are the trade offs you are making?
For us, so we allow unlimited video calls. That's really, really important for us for keeping in touch with family back in India. But we don't do any video watch time on a regular basis. So our kids don't really expect to get that kind of screen time every day. And then we've also started allowing our 5-year-old to do some creative stuff with the devices, like I mentioned before. But I will admit that it's really tricky to balance that with how addictive devices in general can be, whether you're watching videos or not. I mentioned that my kid plays chess on the iPad, right? But then after solving a few chess puzzles, I just see him playing around with the app, meaninglessly fiddling with the app settings, changing the colors and the themes. So for young kids, I believe screen access should be supervised as much as possible. And we really try to handhold our kids through screen usage at this age. What about you? What's your perspective?
Well, I think, for us, the trade off is balancing making Mira reliant on these devices where she is actively seeking them. That's what we don't want.
Yeah.
With making good use of these devices. So, similar to you, we allow unlimited video calls to stay connected with family back home. We have zero watch time policy because, as we discussed, we don't think passive consumption of content helps.
Yeah.
We engage her in some creative uses of AI. But I think on another note, policy should evolve with age, right? When she was under 1, we did absolutely no screen time because we did not know what the impact of these devices would be on a child so young. But when she gets older, maybe around 3, and she has more dexterity with these devices, we might allow some interactive, time-bound screen time for learning and creative development. But let's see.
Yeah. I think no matter what the policy is though, what I think is really important is that parents should have clarity on it and communicate upfront with kids. So kids are never going to be happy with restrictions, but setting the expectations is important. And I feel it's never too early to start this discussion about our family rules. And then we should remember that above everything else, what our kids do will be based on what they see us do. So what behavior are we modeling as parents? But maybe that's a whole other episode.
Totally agree. That's a longer discussion. Well, hope you guys enjoyed the second episode of Tech and Tots. Leave us comments on what's your policy with your kids, and thank you for listening.